Okay, welcome everyone. I'm the Agnihotra Lady, and welcome to the Cosmic Clinic, where we discuss Agnihotra and we discuss the Ayurvedic wisdom of Agnihotra and the Ayurvedic wisdom that is very prevalent here for the modern times that we live in. And so that is the theme of the show. And if you're just now joining me, I'm located and we're broadcasting live here at Shanti, Atlanta, which is located in Conyers on the Atlanta campus of Shanti Institute, located in Tuskegee, Alabama, and that's run by Cherie Charles, who's the founder of Shanti Institute and Heal the Atmosphere Association. And so we go around the world teaching the Ayurvedic wisdom of Agnihotra, and Agnihotra is a way for you to purify the planet and purify yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the Bharuti mantra, which sets a blessed intention on any show that I do. So I'm going to go ahead and start the Bharuti mantra. Swaha, Agnihotra Namah Swaha, Vayave Namah Swaha, Surya Namah Bhargava Swaha, Prajapati Namah. So, like I mentioned before, we're going to be talking about immortality and wisdom. And a lot of talk has been going on about death and dying because a lot of people lost loved ones because of the COVID-19 pandemic that's happening. And a lot of people are fearful of getting COVID and even of dying. And we've always talked about on this show how we are beyond the body. You're more than just your body. We're energy beings, and that there really is no death. We just leave these human forms. So that's going to be what I'm going to be talking about this evening. So before anyone that's just now viewing, let me just explain to you what Agnihotra is. Agnihotra is an Ayurvedic practice that is done in a copper pyramid. Now, this is not Agnihotra back here. This is just a regular homifier. But Agnihotra is the basic homifier, and it's performed at sunrise and sunset. And then what we use to do Agnihotra, we use dried cow dung. We use ghee, which is unsalted butter that has been boiled down and have the fat skimmed off. And then we also use brown rice, unpolished brown rice. And these are the ingredients we put inside the pyramid. So at sunrise, there's a flood of ethers and electricities and energies that flood the entire planet. And so when we do Agnihotra in the morning time at sunrise, we say a Sanskrit mantra, and then there's an interaction between the sun with the pyramid, and from there nutrients are put back into the atmosphere, and the effect goes 8 miles up, and it's a 2-mile radius. So this is something that is very healing for all the plants and animals that live on the planet, and it's healing too for you as a human. So the more you do Agnihotra, the more you're purified, the more you're purified physically, mentally, and spiritually. So we always say that the more you do Agnihotra, the more you become in tune to who you are as an energy being. And that kind of goes into the topic that I'm going to talk about tonight, about immortality and about death and whatnot. So we've known for a long time that what is happening now with all the events that are happening, not only here nationally here in the United States where I live, but also across the globe. And so as a result, bluntly, a lot of people will die because of various things that mankind has done to the planet, to the environment, and unfortunately to each other. And so there's a cleansing that's taking place, and we were talking about this. So it's going to get worse before it gets better. And not to alarm anyone, is that you need to be prepared for about what's happening, because the world is out of balance, and there has to be a shift in everyone's consciousness to get everything back in order. And so when you perform Agnihotra, it is a way to bring about a purification of all the pollution that we've dumped on the planet. And like I said before, they now are saying that pollution makes the coronavirus worse. So we have to clean up the planet, everyone. We really do have to. It's pivotal to us being happy and healthy, and it's pivotal to what is in store for the planet, because the planet itself is making a shift. The planet is part of the solar system, and it's been slowed down because of the things that we're doing to the planet. We're connected to the planet, and so if we're polluting the planet, we're polluting ourselves. So there's a great cleansing going about, and there will be more deaths. However, performing Agnihotra reverses the pollution. It heals everything. And if we can get enough people to do Agnihotra, then there's hope. So we're not talking about being hopeless. We're talking about being proactive and taking care of the planet, and also taking care of yourself, and understanding that you as a human, you are the caretaker of planet Earth, and you, all of us individually, we're responsible for whatever happens to the place that we live on. So when it comes to immortality, Tree Charles and I were talking about how people, we don't realize really what that means. Immortality. And of course, you may see these things on TV where they have these people that are immortal and they walk the earth millions or thousands of years, and people can't relate to that. But know that you as an energy being, you are immortal, that your human body, this is just one step of the process of whatever, if you want to call it, a life cycle. And so if you understand that this body is just a very small piece of what we call life, that you're not to put your every thought and action into this body, in the sense that it needs to be maintained, to be always young looking and beautiful, and to put so much emphasis on what you look like, and of course to be healthy. But when you become obsessed with you in this human form, then you're not really experiencing things on the highest level, on the full level, because you have this very high consciousness that is outside of this body. We talked about this before, about your energy body, or the auric body. This is really a big step that you can really access once you drop this physical form. And so when you talk about a physical death, that really is just a small part of existence. And then when you get to the next level, that's the immortality. But if you put all your emphasis on this physical body, then yes, you will be scared of death. You will think this is the end all. But no, this is just the step in the human form. Planet Earth is just this holding place for us to get our training, learn our lessons, interact, take care of the planet, help each other, because we all are part of this higher consciousness that is part of the Creator, God, or whatever name that you like to call the Creator, the divine being that makes all this go around, and it's continual. So once you drop your physical body, then you go into this higher stage of awareness, and then you truly are immortal. But remember, if you put all your efforts into you, this physical being, then no, then you won't discover or understand that you're immortal. So when we talk about understanding who we really are, and we've talked about this for several episodes, we have to train our minds. And so Agnihotra, if done on a daily basis, is a tool to bring you in alignment with the Creator. It's to deepen the access of the powers that we all are born with that we may not know that we have, because we're not taught that we are these powerful beings. So Agnihotra, along with deep breathing and sitting still at the cosmic clinic hours, which we talked about before, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., sunrise, 10 a.m., 12 noon, 3 p.m., and then sunset. These are the times when you're able to access the higher consciousness of yourself, of your being. And it has nothing to do with your intellectual mind. This is beyond your mind, beyond your five senses. And with Agnihotra, deep breathing and sitting still at the cosmic clinic hours, then you can really understand a lot of things, like I've said before, that are not in books. And you understand what I mean about we all are immortal. So the train, you know, some of us, we've trained many years for our occupations. Some of us may have trained many years. Let's say an athlete, for instance. An athlete has trained, you know, a great portion of his life to play a professional sport. So he knows how to perform the sport, whether it be playing basketball, football, or soccer, or whatever it is. And so too is the way with anything you do. So we as humans, if you want to access this information that they may say this is esoteric information, but it's not esoteric. It's just that it can only be accessed when you have trained your mind, when you sit still. So just like an athlete trains, you too can train your mind. And this is when you can access all this information. You can access all the power that is within you, bestowed upon you by the Mother, Father, God. And then you really will understand that you are not the body, you are immortal. And many teachers have been teaching this for centuries. So let's go back. I mean, and you won't read what I'm about to say to you in most modern books, okay? So many ages ago, the way people were taught about all of these things that, you know, maybe we are not aware of, depending on whatever faith you grew up practicing or what you were told, in whatever household you were raised in. But the original teachers and sages and priests, they taught that the kingdom of heaven was inside of you. They taught that you yourself were the temple. There were no temples, so to speak, in the sense of that we know of now. They understood that you, as the human being, the energy being housed within this human body, you were the temple, and you could cultivate all of these powers and really get in tune with the Creator if you understood to sit still and meditate and get outside of these outside things, outside of your body, all of these attachments, these outside things that really mean nothing. So when people were taught that, they went back home and they were able to cultivate that within their household. So the entire household was strong and united based upon the knowledge that everyone was powerful, everyone was a temple. And these are what the original teachers taught. And so what happened is that some of these teachings became lost, and then temples were erected. Nothing's wrong with temples. Some of them were adulterated, and then people began to really depend upon the priest. and to listen to what someone else told them God wanted them to know, not realizing that the Creator can have direct contact with you. You don't have to go to a priest or a temple. And going to a temple is great, but you have to have your daily life in order. You have to walk each day with the Creator. And so, and in that sense, that's when false teachings became a crutch for people. They became dependent on the false teachings and going to a temple. And so the thing is that when people understand the true nature that the kingdom of heaven is inside of you, that you are the temple, you are the divine, the sacred temple, that's when you are full of power, and you cannot control people that are aware of who they really are. And so, and many teachers have been, they've tried to silence teachers that were teaching this, but these were the original teachings before things were written down in quote unquote, you know, organized books and things like that. These were the original teachings. And it's important to know that you yourself has access to everything beyond what's in any book talking about these things that are considered esoteric. They're not esoteric. If you develop these things within yourself, these abilities, these powers, because everyone should know that everyone is a healer. Everyone can heal themselves. You can heal the planet. You can develop abilities where you have dreams that come true, where you have quote unquote psychic abilities. These are things that aren't within each and every person. These are not just, you know, oh, here, this person there. You have to train yourself, like I said before. If an athlete trains to be professional, then you too, you have to train yourself to be a spiritual athlete. Okay. You know, you can run with the football and do your touchdown, or you can do a three-pointer, okay? But it takes time and effort. You have to sit still. You have to go deep within yourself. And sometimes people, we can be lazy. We want things quick in a hurry. Our society is based on everything being quick, quickly accessed, and things like that. And it takes time. It takes time because there are many missteps we may make, lessons that have to be learned. And the wisdom, this is where we get wisdom. And so when we talk about wisdom, you have wisdom that comes directly from God. Okay, well, that's kind of goes into what we were talking about just previously. And then there's the wisdom that you carry with you from your previous incarnation. And so all of these experiences are you have with you now, and you're meant to go through this life continually learning and helping your fellow brothers and sisters and taking care of the planet. And so what I'm saying to you today is that Agnihotra is a tool to clean up all these things, okay, that we have to work on, that you have to work on, is to access that highest state of being, to really be right in sync with the Creator, and know that you have all of the powers bestowed upon you because you come from God. And you can't come from something and be something else. We were talking about that before. I had some people come by to pick up some Agnihotra kits several weeks ago, and I said, how can you be something else if you come from the one thing? You can't be something else. You have to be that. So if you come from God, then what does that make you? And so really think about that. So this is how we gain wisdom. And so this wisdom that I'm talking about goes back to what I said earlier. Anything you want to know is within you, and you don't have to have a book to find it out. And we're not talking about scholarly things, because scholarly learning is different. What we're talking about is universal learning, universal knowing, that knowingness that only you can have when you're one with God. And so Agnihotra is a tool in which you can achieve all of this. And so going back to what I said earlier about people are scared of dying, especially now with the pandemic, there is no dying. There is no dying. If you understood who you really were, you would, there's nothing to be scared of. It would just be another stone on the path in your existence, and know that everything is a big circle. Earth is a circle, life is a circle. There's no beginning and end. And so there's nothing to be fearful. And so when people are saying that they are scared of dying, really what they're saying is that they're scared of not knowing. You don't know, and that uncertainty makes you fearful. But if you know that this body, this mortal coil, is just something that is not to be valued on such a high level, like the body is everything. If you experience things, your entire life is experienced through your body, what you see, what you feel, you know, what you hear, then that's very limited. And please know that we are unlimited beings. We are unlimited. There is no limit unless the limit you put on yourself. There's no limit to who you are. And your body would be the limit if that is how you think and how you perceive everything through this. And that's one of the things that happens when you do Agnihotra. You know, you're quiet. The fire is very cleansing. It cleanses out negative thoughts. It cleanses out a lot of physical ailments, and it cleanses the earth. It's beautiful because it engages with all your chakras. It reminds you just how great and magnificent you are. That's really what Agnihotra does. So you can do this in the morning, at sunrise and at sunset. So at sunset, we repeat the same process. It's a different mantra. And what we do is at the time of sunset, we chant the mantra, and then we offer rice into the pyramid. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, humbling experience, because there are times when you may come to the pyramid, you maybe had a bad day, something is not going good in your personal life with your spouse or your children, and you become new every time you sit in front of the fire. You don't have to worry about something that happened even moments ago or a day ago or an hour ago, because each time you're a brand new person. And if you think about it in the way that nature works and that our own bodies work, that every cell is being renewed within our bodies. Everything is new. We have an entirely new body within a year. That's because everything is generating. There's constant movement. And in nature, the same thing. You know, we have the 4 seasons, and everything changes in the seasons. So things begin to wither and recede in the wintertime. Then they spring back to life in spring. So there's a change, there's a renewal every time you perform Agnihotra. And so we, the people, need to understand there's nothing to worry with this pandemic. The only pandemic that we have is that we don't understand who we really are. Forget about whatever politics and the headlines and all of that. The time is not for you to be focused on all these outward things with your job and the money and all of that. Even if it's bad, This is a time for you really to go deep into yourself, because all these outward things are distractions from you really working on yourself. And these things change. Outward things changes. Your body changes. Circumstances changes. But you yourself, you're the one constant. Whether I may look like this now, in 10 years I'll look different. However, me, the real me, the energy body me, my auric body, that is the one constant that I will work to fortify and to train to always be at peace, and to know that all these other attachments, they're temporary. And so that's what we are here to do as humans. And so there's a serious thing that's happening with the planet. And I've said before, is that it's not an accident. All these things are happening with the weather, flooding, rain, wildfires, along with the pandemic. And many different prophecies, many different scriptures have talked about what's happening right now. And so we have to understand, like I said when we first started to talk, that there is a great cleansing taking place, a purification. And we as humans have to clean ourselves up. We have to unite with each other. We have to help our brothers and sisters. We can't be fussing and fighting. And please know that what's happening with these fires and these food recalls and all this air pollution and different things, it will get worse until there's a wake-up call. And I was discussing with Sri Charles, and I said, well, we know that a lot of more people will die because we're stubborn. We think we know everything as humans. We think that we can continue to do the same things and have the planet intact. However, the food situation, us growing food, the air pollution, and other things, this cannot continue. The earth is rebelling because the caretakers are not taking care of the planet. And honestly, if we can't take care of the planet, I mean, how many people do you think will have to die for the earth to be able to take care of herself? I know that sounds harsh, but the earth is a living organism. We are connected to the earth. However, if we're not on the earth will survive just fine. So I think that the only way that people will listen is if there's a great deal of people die, because we're hard-headed, unfortunately. We have to do more for the planet. We cannot spray these chemicals on this food. I mean, now they're talking about glyphosate. I think I saw on Aaron Brockovich's page that they're finding this in pretty much, it's the most sprayed pesticide on the entire planet. They said it's all over everything. There's not one thing that you eat does not have glyphosate in it. That is ridiculous. And then people are still fighting with states and municipalities on, oh, you don't put this in the food, don't put this in the air. This should be instinctual. We shouldn't have to fight over something that should be a given. Clean water, clean air, healthy food. And so it's a wonder, yeah, this is why you see all the sicknesses. And just like we were talking earlier about, now they're saying little kids as young as 4 or 5 years old, they're depressed. Why is a 3 and 4-year-old depressed unless we put the depression there? Why is it that, I don't remember seeing so many autistic or children that were developmentally delayed when I was growing up, and I'm not that old. But now you have so many severe illnesses in not just children, but people. And have you ever stopped to think, why? Is it the progress that we say that we've made? it comes at the cost of children and adults being healthy, having healthy food. Why do we have to have any sort of tainted food? I mean, all these food recalls, and if anyone has been watching my page and watching the show, I mean, at one point I was posting a food recall once a week. This is craziness. So we have to get to a point where we have to listen. And the only way we will listen is there's more chaos and unfortunately more people dying for us to understand that the mother has to come first. The mother has to come first. We cannot exist. We can't do anything without the planet. So I say to you that out of all of the societal issues that we have, the number one priority has to be the planet. We can't fuss and fight for any other rights, any kind of human rights and Black Lives Matters and whatever. We have to fight for the right of the earth to live properly, to thrive. Because when the earth thrives, then so we do thrive too. So I'm going to take a break here. And let me see if anybody has any questions. And I may sign off early, but I really wanted to be firm with talking about all the things that are happening to the planet right now, because you may not hear so much about climate things right now because of the pandemic, and it looks like we're going to have another lockdown here soon. I do believe, because the numbers are up all across the United States, so I'm sure there's going to be lockdowns all across the globe. But one thing that I took note of is that when everybody was locked down for 2 or 3 months, they were reporting that the air was clearer. Places where you couldn't even see the sky, you could see birds flying by. The air quality was better. The water was clearer. And so we have to find a way for us to be more still. I know some people are like, well, I'm ready to move around and whatever, but being still is good for the planet. And being still is good for you. Like we talked about these cosmic clinic times in which you're able to get direct communication from God. So I want you to think about these things and understand that things will get worse before they get better. But there's hope. Performance of Agnihotra is a way to cleanse the earth, put nutrients back into the planet. Because oh my God, we take so much. We take and take and take. And we can't be greedy. And this goes into the principles in which we need to live. We're supposed to help our fellow human beings. We're supposed to be loving, compassionate, forgiving. We're supposed to not be envious. We're not to just focus on ourselves, because we don't live here by ourselves. And so just think about these things and think of the ways in which you can help heal the planet. And one of the easiest ways is to do Agnihotra. You know, it doesn't involve you having to get permission from some city or telling them what not to do. This is something that you can do in the comfort of your home, or you can do it at work, and it's very healing. So I'm going to go ahead and go into talking about what you could order from our website, shantibillainstitute.com. And we have our Ayurvedic plant food, Shanti's Golden Nectar. Ayurvedic plant food formulated by Sri Charles. So farmers use this as well as gardeners. If you want to go even beyond organic, this is a really good plant food. You can order from shantibillainstitute.com. And then we also have our popular mudra book, The Secret Science of Mudras, authored by Sri Charles. It has the different mudras that you can use to keep yourself healthy. This can be added to your holistic health kit that you keep at home, you know, to keep healthy. Like I know I keep like my garlic and my turmeric coriander and things like that. Have this here too as ways to help deal with different health challenges. And then we only have one left. I thought we were totally sold out, but we only have the one Agnihotra kit left. And this is it right here. So if you go on our website, shantivillainstitute.com, it is sold out. I have one here at Shanti Atlanta in Conyers. So contact me if you would like to purchase this last one. It comes with a booklet, so you can immediately learn about Agnihotra and start doing it. And oops, the screen went away. I pressed something by mistake. Copper cup, copper tray, copper stand. Here's the inside the pyramid. This is the pyramid. Copper spoon. Everything is copper, as you can see. Copper tongues, and then we have a few, 2 or 3 of these glass jars for you to hold your rice and your ghee. So this is what is included in the Agnihotra kit. So I don't know how soon we'll get the next batch in, but like I said, we only have one left. If you go on shantivillainstitute.com, it is not available. It's sold out, but I do have one here because someone did pick up a pyramid that I thought was going to buy one. And then we also have other ebooks and books on shantivillainstitute.com. So if you'd like to support our work, please feel free to do so. And then we also have a donation button on there. So if you'd like to visit Shanti Atlanta, I'm located in Conyers, and the website is healthpluslifestyle.com. The number is 404-487-8156. The main campus is in Tuskegee, Alabama, and that's shantivillainstitute.com. And if you need information, we're not open to the public at that location yet. And that's we have 13 acres up there. I have a little bit less of an acre here in Shanti, Atlanta, but feel free to peruse either the websites. And like I said, if you go on shantivillainstitute.com, we have other ebooks and books and CDs with teachings from Sri Charles and all those things there too. And I am seeing people socially distance privately here at Shanti Atlanta. And as always, thank you for joining me this evening for the Agnihotra Lady Cosmic Clinic, where we talk about the ancient Ayurvedic wisdom of Agnihotra for the modern world. If you have any questions, feel free to private message me on Facebook, or you can email me at shantiatlantacenter@gmail.com. And have a very blessed day and wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.